Do you know, there's one thing that sticks out is the bunny costume.
Oh.
So...
Hang on. Whoa.
I'm quite competitive.
Okay.
Hang on. Leah's
my
like
general
armed
knowledge
herself
is,
now.
you know, if every single person gave a little bit,
Even a pound,
the impact,
50p,
100%.
Welcome to our special mini podcast series, woo, brought to you by Ellenor. Over the course of 3 episodes, we're diving deep into the vital role of donations, partnerships and community involvement in supporting the essential care that we provide at Ellenor. From inspiring stories of corporate partnerships to the heartwarming efforts of local supporters, yay, of which we have many, each episode will highlight how our incredible community comes together to make a lasting impact. Stay tuned as we explore the power of giving, the importance of collaboration, and the unforgettable ways that our supporters help us to continue our mission of compassionate hospice care. Oh, it makes me feel all proud when I say that. That's really nice. So on today's podcast, we're going to focus on the importance of corporate partnerships and how they drive success in hospice fundraising, essential for what we do. And we're going to cover that in a minute. So I'm going to be speaking with Ellenor's Senior Corporate Partnerships Officer, nearly as long as my title earlier, Leah Saunders, and Sarah Driscoll, who is Managing Director from M&M Estates and Letting Agents. Welcome, both of you. So today we're going to explore how local businesses can play a pivotal role in supporting our mission and making a difference in the lives of those that we care for. Oh, welcome, girls.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. Leah, can you just start by telling us a little bit about your role? What does a typical day look like for you in what you do?
Wow.
Have you got a typical day? Is it all different?
No, yeah, I was going to say, there isn't really a typical day for what we do. I was thinking about this the other day and I was like, God, I don't really know how to answer this. And started to panic and I was like, oh God. But I would say, I mean, it could be anything. So one day I could be at a corporate golf day. I could be networking or at a conference. I could be in the office at the hospice, or I could be recording a podcast. Apparently, it could literally be anything. We could be out doing anything. And I think that's the beauty of our roles, is that it's not just doing one thing or the other. There's so many elements to it, which makes it really, really enjoyable. And getting to meet so many different people as well. So,
would you say like the common threads, say like the office day, the golf day, whatever it is you're around people? Yeah, it's about building relationships with people.
Yeah, 100%. It's about, our roles are about building relationships, long-term relationships, and really building on those corporate partnerships and making them, purposeful, so that they're, beneficial for both the business and for Ellenor as well.
So nurturing as well, because obviously it's easy to meet people and say hello and be friends. It's about maintaining that, isn't it? That level of, I suppose, relationship building is essential for your role, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And it's one of the things I really enjoy about my role, is building those relationships with people.
Nice. And how many, say roughly, I'm not going to hold you to this figure.
Oh, Claire, please don't.
How many corporate relationships, partnerships do we sort of have with Ellenor at the moment?
I'd probably say maybe about 15. All different levels, levels of partnerships and value, but all equally valuable to us. So, but maybe about 15.
Okay,
that number.
That's good. Yeah. Okay. And Sarah, as Managing Director of M&M Estates and Letting Agents, is that right? Said that right?
Yeah, Estate and Letting Agents.
Said that right. Why did you choose to partner with our hospice?
On a really personal level, my granddad was actually in the hospice a long time. A long time ago now. But I think it's testament to what the care that they provide is that I can still remember it. I can remember it like it was yesterday.
Really?
I can remember what it was like in there. I know it's changed a lot since then. But I can remember what it was like. I can remember, whilst I can't remember individuals in the sense of, oh, that was Claire or that was Jeanette or something, I can remember how those people who worked there made me feel. And I mean, I would have only been 10, 11 at that point, but I can really remember it. But also I can remember my mother, because she was so relieved that my granddad was there and not in hospital. And that relief for her was even then I can remember it. I can remember her being so happy about the fact that he was there and she got to be with him, and the support that she got, and she stayed with him, until he did die. But it was just so lovely for her to be able to do that, and I can really, really remember that. On another point from my perspective, it's not just me personally, but everybody around me, actually, in fairness. I've always lived in Gravesend. I was born here. I had a short sort of stint, you go to uni for a couple of years, or, I lived away for a year.
Tried to get away.
But I always just come back. So I've always lived here. I was born here, all my friends live here, all my family live here. I've got a business here. All of those, or the majority of those friends and family, have got some form of connection with Eleanor, whether it's by their immediate family or someone they know. And actually, when we were talking about what we were going to do in terms of partnerships with charities and that sort of thing, talking to sort of our clients, our landlords, it was amazing how many of those actually were like, oh no, actually, my brother was there, my mum was there, or what have you. And actually, when we were talking about sort of fundraising, because a number of our landlords give on a monthly basis, and actually when I was having those conversations with them, for them it was so much, oh no, actually we already donate to Eleanor.
Really?
We already have a direct debit for that. And that was really nice, because as a business then, it was very clear that we'd chosen the right charity as well. So personally for me, I had an affiliation with it, but so did my friends, so did my family, and actually so did my client base and my landlords. So actually from that perspective, I was like, I know that what we've done, the decision that we've made, has definitely been the right one. So
that's so lovely. It's almost like, I'm like, in my head, I'm sort of seeing like the hospice, like the roots go far into the community, like people know us, and like we are well known in the community, and it's so lovely to hear you validate that that actually people are, without any influence, they know us and they're willing, to put their hands in their pocket or to help us in some way.
100%,
That's lovely,
definitely.
isn't it?
I've always just known it. There's a lot of work going on at the moment in terms of the sort of development, but it's just always been there.
It's a constant, isn't it, in people's lives?
And for me, actually, in terms of sort of hospice care, for me, there are other hospices, but for me, actually, Eleanor is the only hospice. So that makes obviously there are others in the country, but for me, actually, as far as I was concerned, that was just the hospice care. That must be everywhere. Obviously, that isn't the case, but actually for me, that was who it was. So and
that's so lovely. And do you know what? It's funny because your story there is basically a carbon copy of mine. My first experience when my nan was in there, I was about 10, 11 years old, and exactly what you said. I remember how I felt.
Yeah.
And it's like, ever since all those years ago, like quite a long time ago now, we won't divulge ages, but quite a long time ago, I've never forgotten that feeling. Yeah. And it's like, it's just like an Eleanor thing. It's, I haven't experienced other hospices. I don't know what other hospices are like, but that's so lovely to hear you say that as well. And obviously other people in the community. This is why it's important to maintain those relationships and continue to nurture that. Because if someone is already giving, maybe without any support or influence or partnerships, what could we do as a network if actually we all work together?
100%. Yeah. And actually, Leah's passion comes through in terms of what she's doing, but that's the same of everybody when you're in there. Yeah. Like everybody's passion, everybody's care, how they feel about where they work, is a job, how they feel about that, you can see in everything they do. And when we did the hard hat tour recently, just to see how the progression of the sort of work down at Eleanor was going, actually everybody that did it, lots of different individuals we met doing the tours and sort of going onto the ward and different things like that, everybody you met had such a passion and a love for what they do. Wow. And that means everything, because actually, we've only been a partnership for it's less than a year now.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it has been less than a year. But actually, when you do that and you meet people and you're seeing the impact of what they're doing on lives that are there, but everyone that's there is so passionate about it. It excites you, and you think, oh, I'm so pleased to be part of this team. And then you all feel like a team together.
It's like we're a family, aren't we? That's 100%. What I think.
Yeah, 100%. And that excitement is what I hope and try and take back to everyone that's working. So for me and my team in the office, we're all a team and a family together. And actually, this is what we're all doing, and this is what we're driving towards. And if everyone has that excitement, and gets that like joy from doing it, then it makes you feel better as well. You know, like it really does.
I love that, and you're right. It's like we are all one team. And you mentioned the hard hat tour, so that's basically Eleanor are nearly finished building our new wellbeing centre. Yeah. And as part of partnership working, we invited some of our corporate partners in to do a hard hat tour. So I showed you around, didn't I? I showed you all of the different rooms and stuff. And it's lovely to hear. So for me, that's fully, donated monies that have contributed to that. So to hear how proud you are to know that you've actually been part of that is amazing. Yes. I really love that. So can you both share an example of a time where you collaborating and doing something together as a partnership really made a difference?
As in us together?
Us together? I don't know. There was one... Do you know, there's one thing that sticks out is the bunny costume.
Oh.
So...
Hang on. Whoa. Rewind. Yeah. Bunny costume. What's going on here?
It's not as strange as it's or weird as it sounds.
Well, I'm not sure. I think maybe it is. But...
maybe it is. But obviously we have the children's parties, Christmas and Easter. At Eleanor, don't we? And we were in need of an Easter bunny costume, and we didn't know where to turn. We didn't know who to ask. And Gemma was kind of liaising with you about it. And Sarah had a bunny costume that we were able to borrow.
I mean, as you do,
personal bunny costume.
I go shopping in a bunny outfit.
We do lots in the office. We do lots of like fun seasonal like videos. And social media content around sort of seasonal things, incorporating the houses we're selling or letting and that sort of thing. So it was Easter, and so we had this amazing bunny costume. Like it was a good bunny costume. So we'd done some social media stuff with Bunny, like either in our office or around this particular house, which was just perfect for it. Yeah. So we'd done them all. So Leah or Gemma had seen it and was like, can we borrow that costume? I was like, yes, you can borrow the costume. It's nice for it to get other outings, to be honest, to use itself. But I suppose in terms of collaboration, everything about collaboration is about sort of communication, empowering each other to do things. And actually, from the offset, I would actually say working together as a team and actually saying, okay, from the point of having an idea, so as a business, you think, I do want to do something which is for the community, or we personally do in our business, because actually for the guys, all of my team will spend more time with each other than they do with their own family. So it's really important for me. They're like my family. We're all a family together. It's really important for me that, yes, they're coming to work, and they all work hard and they nail it and their enthusiasm and, all comes through and they love it. But actually, what else can they get from it? What else can they do when they're sort of at work? So actually, we talk about, giving back whilst we do community things and selecting a charity and we're going to do this. But it's not until you actually say, okay, I'm going to speak to somebody from that charity. Yeah. So you do that. So I think I made contact with either Gemma or Leah. I can't remember who it was that we originally spoke to. But they were immediately like, come in, let's have a chat. Oh, and the second you've done that and you've built sort of that rapport and you're talking about, okay, what is the next step? What should we do? And actually that guidance in terms of them saying, okay, well, this is what we can provide you with. This is everything that we currently have that may help you on your journey to fundraising. And actually whilst money is everything. Otherwise, when I say everything, actually it's not everything, because we provide, what we're doing is fundraising, but it's also about awareness. So it's not just the thing okay, it's just about money. Yeah. There's a lot more that we can do in terms of our social media reach, in terms of getting Eleanor's message out there. Yeah. And from my perspective, I think a lot of the sort of boundaries to businesses getting involved is actually you immediately think, but actually I'm not going to raise that much money. Or actually I'm only going to do X, and that doesn't seem like enough.
Like a barrier, like you feel like it's
and you think,
actually
I don't want to make contact because what if I only raise X amount of money? Yeah, my thing to that is, and which is what we said with all of our team and with all of my landlords, if every single person gave a little bit,
even a pound,
the impact,
50p,
100%, that impact would be huge. And also in terms of a charity, it's better to do that, because actually if you've got 100 people giving a pound, you've got £100 as a charity. Fabulous. If one day 10% of those people, 10% of those people don't do it, you've still got £90.
Yeah.
If you've got one person giving £100 and something happens, and they say, well, I can't do it anymore, then all of it's gone.
Yeah.
So it's actually about lots of people doing as much as they can,
Yes.
whether that is £1, whether it is £100, whether it's £1,000,000. Actually, if everyone does what they can, then it works really well, because actually then for the charity and for you still get the feel goods of I'm doing something. Yeah. And actually, that's good for sort of charity as well. And it's not feeling like, when we've chatted before, it's not a thing of, oh, well, unless you can do X, or you can't do it.
We're not interested sort of thing.
It's
okay,
immediately been that thing of, okay, well, this is everything we can do to help. These are our sort of social media assets, or these are sort of our logos. This is that. This is the calendar of ideas. It doesn't just have to be that fundraising to X. Yeah. Actually, here is this sort of quiz event, or this run, or whatever it may be. Your team could get involved in this, or you could do that, or you could do that. And we do a lot to do with things like that. That is as much about advertising things and saying, okay, you could do this, and to all of my client base and all of my database, actually, whilst you might not be in a position to give money, perhaps you could do this. Perhaps you could do that. And that
do a
is
bake
just,
sale, like come on our twilight walk,
exactly.
run a marathon, all of these different things, isn't it?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, and even from the bare minimum of, actually, if everyone content-wise listened to your podcasts, shared your content, was speaking to people and saying, oh, this is happening or that's happening, turned up to an event, every event, every bit of money adds something in terms of making Eleanor even more a part of a community, which feels like it's almost impossible because everyone knows Eleanor, but more of a part. So actually, as generations and everyone, it just becomes part of, the local community, and that's just what we do. We all just do that, whether it is a little bit or a lot. That's what we all do, and it's just worked really nicely as a team to do that.
I love that. I love that, and you're right. It's the analogy of, like, if everyone gives a little, albeit money, time, whatever it might be, because obviously we have a lot of volunteers. We're largely volunteer-led. So we need your help in, whether it's our retail shops or coming to help us marshal a twilight walk or whatever it might be. It's just that little something, giving back that little something, isn't it? You might not feel like you're making a big difference, but exactly like you just said, you're making a huge difference and you don't even know it. So
definitely.
It's worth
I think this
reiterating.
is one of the things that, Gemma and I have worked to get into that point where it is trying to, speak to those corporates and say, there are so many other ways of getting involved. We're not just going to go, give us X amount of money. Thanks very much.
Write me a check.
Write me a check. That'd be great. But, there's other ways, and that's, kind of how we want to build our partnerships is it working, like I said before, like working for them and for us, so that there's a collaboration, there's a partnership, and it's beneficial to both parties. And these are the elements that kind of feed into that.
Because there's a lot we can give back. As an example, we was talking just now about, death is an assured thing. It's going to happen to everyone. We have a lot of bereavement support and things like that, for example. So if there is someone within your organisation that might be going through a really tough time, whether they're at Eleanor or not, there's certain support we can offer as part of that. There's, like I say, bereavement and things like that, bereavement support. So we can give back to you as a company as well as you giving us. So it is a partnership. It's not all just 100%. A one-way street. It's that we have a lot to offer you as well, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. And that's something Gemma and I have kind of worked to build up is what we can offer as part of that partnership.
I love that.
Yeah.
So do you have like is it like a little information pack, or like, you show up like, first day of school, like get all your rundown? Like, is it literally like, because I know that you've done a lot of work around pulling it together, branding it in the right way, like sharing information about what we can do for businesses, not just us taking what they're able to offer us.
So if a business approaches us, we will set up a meeting and we'll go to them, and we'll go to the meeting with all of that information. And we've created a bit of a one-page profile, as I call it, which is kind of what we go to the meeting with and ask those questions, and kind of get a feel for what they want to get from it and what we want to get from it as well. But there will be a section on the website for corporate partnerships. It's currently being built. It's going to look fabulous.
Sneak peek,
fabulous. So we're working on that, and that will have all the different elements of how people can get involved.
Oh,
with
that's
the
great.
Partnership.
Yeah.
So it'll be kind of broken down on the website of how people can get involved through their corporate partner.
Wow, and that's not live yet, but will be.
It will be.
Cool. Okay, I'm excited about the website stuff.
Yes, yes.
We'll have to do an update for people when that's live.
Yes.
You can check it out.
Yeah, I'm really
ellenor.org.
excited.
It's making everything as easy for people as possible, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's true.
It's easy.
Yeah, and that's what we say.
It has to be accessible.
Yes.
And if that accessibility comes with making a phone call, waiting for someone to come and meet you, like that's an effort. We want it to be really seamless and easy, don't we?
Yeah, again, that's another thing that Gemma and I have really worked on is, you know, if we were doing this, if we were going on the website or we would, you know, how would we want to find it?
Yeah.
We'd want it to be really easy. And I do find when I go on other websites, if it's too long-winded, I give up.
Yeah,
You
I'm
do,
done.
didn't you? So, more than
Done with
5
that.
clicks, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's got to be easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're right. Accessibility is key for us.
Yeah, and that's what we want our partnerships to be as well. We want them to be easy so that they do turn into long-term partnerships.
Yeah.
Because people then enjoy working with us as an organisation, and hopefully with both Gemma and me as well. So yeah.
What's your is it like a little secret sauce that you have, like to just keep these relationships coming? So you're maintaining the ones you got, but you've got more coming. Like, what's the secret? Like, how do you keep that going?
Oh, do you know what? It's
Spill the beans.
Yeah.
Come on. I want to know what's happening.
do you know, honestly, it's a lot of research about what businesses are in our local area, as well as, you know, what's our strategy as an organisation. So we have been doing some work on, you know, some people that we want to partner with, and then it's just a case of making the right approach at the right time.
Yeah. So timing's key, is it?
Yeah,
Right,
yes.
okay.
And it's one of the questions we ask when we go to meet the businesses once we've got that meeting in is, you know, when's the busiest time of year for you? Because actually, if it's October and then we're emailing in October or contacting you in October going, oh, would you want to do this, this and this? It's a really bad time for them.
Yeah,
because, you know, that
You're
it's their
thinking like,
busiest
how
time.
rude. But actually they're just really busy with other stuff.
Yeah. So then, you know, that's one of the questions we ask when we go to that meeting. So it's really important to know the business's priorities as well as, you know, what, you know, so it's...
So like you build up almost like a picture of the business
Yes.
and their identity is created, so you know them so well, you know that October might be a busy time, and like you say, you already know that. You haven't got to go and then not get back to you. You already know.
We know
so
that.
it is, the research is key then, isn't it, really?
Yeah, definitely.
I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, if we, you know, sometimes you can kind of figure it out. That's if we go to the meetings we ask that question. If we're doing, you know, the basic research of who we want to approach, it isn't always easy to know when their busiest time is going to be until you've had that meeting. However, suppose you can kind of figure it out if they're a financial business. You know, March
end of year
is probably not going to be the best time to go, do you want to partner with us? Because they're going to be like,
that's true.
Not right now.
That's
It's
true.
really busy.
Yeah. I suppose it's also getting to know your businesses as well, in the sense of actually what they were likely to want to do. So I've got a varied age range within my business and a varied sort of certain people that I know, if you said to them, put on a bunny costume and do this at this event, they'd be like, I'll do
They'd
that.
be well up for
That'll
it.
be a laugh.
Yeah.
You know, and like, you know, recent random sort of, I don't know, sports events that we did, they'd be up for it and be like, okay, I'll do that.
I'll do it,
and other people wouldn't. And there'll be some businesses that you're like, I know actually that isn't going to be for them, but this might be.
Yeah.
And others that you're like, oh, actually, we're doing this crazy thing. Actually, contact M&M because they're likely to have some nutters that will do it. Or
That's
something
why they
like
come
that.
to you first.
Well,
Sarah, you know, they just knew.
But it's something
just
like
knew.
that, isn't it? It's just like, you
That's
know,
true.
once you know people, you know the likelihood of what they may enjoy doing as well. Because the other thing with giving to charity is that you want that enjoyment to always sort of stay, and we want people to want to do it. 'Cause as soon as something becomes an obligation, the actual reward or the feel-good factor is actually gone.
That's
If the
really
choice
true,
has
isn't
gone,
it? That's really true.
and
I hadn't thought
actually,
of that.
that's what you want people to want to do, to choose, to make them feel good. The second it's an obligation, it no longer makes someone feel good because it's something they feel they have to do as opposed to want to. So doing those things is a good.
Yeah, and we understand that the fundraising element of people's jobs isn't, you know, it's not part of their everyday role, so it's not their first thing that they think about. So you know, we understand that as well, and I think that's why certain partnerships work, because we get that, they know that we get that. So
there's a lot of thought that has to go into it before you even approach someone, let alone managing and maintaining that relationship once it's created, isn't it? So we obviously cover North Kent, Gravesend, Dartford, Swanley and Bexley as well as a service. Do we have businesses across all of those areas and partnerships that we work with across all?
Yeah, we do.
Do we?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, we do. Obviously, the biggest area is probably Gravesend, Dartford, and we do have a couple kind of down towards Rochester. Okay. But because they're based in Rochester or in that way, but a lot of their employees are residents in Gravesend.
Oh, I see. Right.
So then they know about us.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, we do have a lot of businesses kind of across our patches, I would say.
And do they differ? Like what you have to do, the relationships that you build, is it different dependent on what the business is? Is that how it works?
I wouldn't say it depends on what the business is or what they do. I think it depends on kind of their priorities.
Right.
Right. And what they're aiming to get from the relationship, and that will depend on how each one is managed.
Okay.
But I think the one thing that, I don't want to speak for Gemma, but I do think that we both do, is that we bring our personalities to it.
Yeah.
And we're very professional, obviously.
Of course.
Of course.
We don't go around in bunny outfits.
No.
We're very professional.
No. But we do like to bring an element of, this is who we are, this is who Eleanor is. And, as much as it's an important element of the fundraising and what you guys are doing for us as a business, we want it to be fun, and that's kind of how we gauge it. We have to gauge every relationship.
Yeah, I bet.
So,
And are there different, because actually I don't know this for me, in my head, Eleanor is Gravesend, as I've said, and where it is, and I know exactly where it is, and that's it. In terms of those other locations, are there different sort of, say like outreach centres, but are there different places that people can go, or is it like support services, or
there's different elements of care within those areas,
right? Okay.
So like 90% roughly of everything that we do in terms of care isn't actually at the hospice. Okay. It's in people's own homes. So we are out in the community. We are running classes and things. Obviously, we're at the hospice as well. People can come to us. We're like open house. So, you can come to us and join in whatever it might be that you want to do with classes and things. But a lot of what we do is we go to you. And that's the beauty of the care that we provide. We're really flexible with that. Yeah. And, particularly our fundraising team. I mean, we're everywhere. Like we do like walks, quizzes, marathons. Like we try to get out.
We get about.
We get about a bit, does Eleanor? Like loads of different places. But that's not always well publicised. And I think that is what maybe the information we can feed a bit more to maybe businesses, a bit of intelligence for them on us, I think is definitely going to help.
Yeah.
And one question I was going to ask. So from a corporate partner's perspective, that was a mouthful to say. From your perspective as a corporate partner, what are the benefits to your company and your organisation that we can provide you?
I mean, from my perspective, in terms of the benefits of supporting Eleanor, do you mean? I mean, it's... For me, it's not something that's sort of quantifiable in the sense, it's this. Okay. But actually, it's really about how it makes my team feel and how everyone feels in terms of driving towards something that is positive and it's good. I think I said that, the guys will spend all their time with their team in the office. That's what we do. And it's a hard job, it's sales, so it's busy, people are constantly, working hard. And actually, even if they wanted to give to charity or give their time, for some of them, actually, they've got busy lives, they've got children, they've got those things, they don't have that opportunity. So for me, it's about them personally, actually, in terms of getting that intrinsic joy and pleasure out of saying, okay, I'm coming to work and I'm doing my hard job, but actually we're also achieving this, and it's more than just coming to work and doing my job. So
it's almost like your business is the platform to enable people to give back.
Definitely, 100%. Yeah. And, I think I said, I know how I am in my own sort of family and how I treat other people. Actually, the whole team that I work with, we all work together, and we are that same personality. So actually, I know that I get joy out of it. and people say, there's that Friends episode, isn't there, where Phoebe says, actually charitable giving is actually, it's not completely unselfish, is it? Because you get a feel good.
Yes, I know
you
that
get
episode.
that feel good thing.
Yeah.
Actually, it is that same. It is that same thing, isn't it? Actually, if everyone's doing the same thing, we're all very like-minded in the sense that we like community, we like sort of giving back. Everyone's up for doing something enjoyable and fun and being positive and enthusiastic and that sort of thing. Actually, if people have joy in terms of wanting to go to work, there's nothing worse than if you think, I'm dragging myself.
Yeah.
Actually, it's wanting to come in and think, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing my job well, and I'm also achieving this as well. It's not just about the job.
Yeah.
And that, I think, for the team itself, I think is fantastic. It's a nice thing to be part of. And again, when they're talking to their friends and family, it will come up because everyone's got an experience of Eleanor. So it's
and
a really
even if they
positive
haven't previously, like we said, everyone dies, and it might be that as part of that journey that you go through, we support you 100%. With some of that. And if we do, you'll give into that cause, aren't you?
I think in terms of the charity and what it stands for and what I stand for, it aligns together. Actually, moving house, selling your house isn't always a positive thing for people. Actually, it can be really upsetting. Why are they selling the house? They can be going through difficult times in their lives, be it a death, a divorce, something financial that is happening in their lives. So the team actually have to change how they're dealing with people in terms of having empathy, in terms of giving them the right advice that isn't just the right advice for what's best for the business. Actually, that'd be really great if they do X because we make some money. It's actually the right advice for that individual that's going to be the best for them. And actually, that is what the team are all about. And that just aligns in terms of you guys, in terms of what you're all achieving, where you're trying to go, and that care and those things. As individuals, the team are very similar to everyone that I meet within Eleanor, within the Eleanor business. It's that. And so it's when you've aligned yourself with the right charity, it makes you feel good, it makes them feel good, and everyone's working towards the same thing, really.
And we are grateful to be the right charity for you, because it is a partnership. So it works both ways. And I just want to take this little moment here. Thank you for everything that you're doing and your team are doing, and Gemma, who's off with a bad back. We won't give her too much of a hard time. Poor Gemma. Thank you for what you're doing, because obviously it's really valuable to the hospice, and also thank you for being one of our corporate partners and for everything that you're doing and giving back. It feels like a team effort, and I love that. It's like I feel like we're all on the same page, we're all at the same level. There's no sort of hierarchy here. It's just a case of we're all in it together,
100%.
and that is the ethos of Eleanor. Like, we wrap our care and our services and our support around you at one of the most difficult times in your life. And I feel privileged to work for the organisation that I do, and it wouldn't be without the help of people like yourselves that we would be afloat to be able to do that. So
thank you.
Thank you.
And actually, one thing I would say, which I think is really nice, actually, is if as a business you're thinking, have I got the time to do this, or kind of not, or have you? I say to Leah, contact me about everything. Send me an email, call me about everything. If I can do it, I'll 100% do it.
Yeah.
If I can't, I say, I'm really sorry, I can't.
I've got too much.
I'm not going to be made to feel guilty about that. No. I'm not, she's not going to make me feel bad and think, you can't do that. It's just a case of, really? It's that thing of actually, if you can help at any point, 100% will. Yeah. If I can't, she's like, okay, cool, fine. And it's that you think where it is that
There's
team
no
where
pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
Yeah, and that's where actually as well charitable giving really makes you feel good, because it's like, okay, you can help, great. If you can't, then that's fine. Yeah. And there's no guilt attached to anything that you can or can't do, which is what is.
And that says a lot for your approach, obviously, as a team. The way that you approach things is obviously working. Yeah. So,
good to know.
Yeah, go team.
Go team.
Right, now I'm going to finish this podcast with just a couple of quiz questions.
Is it like a buzzer situation? Or like,
I got buzzer noises? No, we're going to do that.
I'm quite competitive.
Okay.
Hang on. Leah's
my general knowledge
herself now.
Stretching out. Get ready.
So, if you had to close a deal with a celebrity while dressed as a giant sandwich, what would you choose?
Gosh.
And how would you convince them to support your partnership? So first of all, what sandwich would you be? This is my question.
I've got a right answer for this. Seafood mix from the hospice.
Oh, you're joking me, Leah. You're joking me.
Yeah,
no,
Gemma
nothing
would
on the
have the
hospice,
same.
but
Gemma would have the same reaction.
That's controversial.
Yeah, seafood mix from the hospice. It is. Even if I bought lunch in and there is a seafood mixed baguette, I'm buying
You're
it.
all over it. Right, okay, I've got to try
What is
seafood
it?
mix.
Apple pie. Done.
Apple pie, don't. Apple
yeah.
pie, it's too easy. It's too easy. Pie on your watch. Okay, seafood mix, controversial.
Seafood mix,
Yeah,
yeah,
that is-
100%.
I'm going to reserve judgment on that because I'm not quite sure.
Although
What
I have
would
to
you
say,
be?
I'm still going down the same sort of fish route.
Are you?
But I would get a Joe and Juice spicy tuna sandwich, which is tuna with jalapenos and like dill and something else. And it is just incredible.
Right, this is a revelation.
Yeah. So, and in terms of selling it to somebody, I mean, that is exactly what I would say. It's incredible, as am I. And you need to try some,
And you
basically.
I am this
Yeah.
sandwich, and you need to.
Yeah,
Oh, that's a
you
good-
need this in your life.
Yeah. I was just like boring, like cheese.
I was
But
going to say,
you've
you
like,
like
opened my eyes
tuna mayo
Yeah.
or
to
an
a
egg
new
and
world.
bread.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've got to
Oh
go
my
there.
goodness. Okay,
Yeah.
that was good responses to be fair. Okay, imagine you're trying to close a deal, but there's one catch. You can only communicate using animal noises. Which animal would you be and why? Oh, do you know what I'd be? I'd be a lion. And I'd just roar in their face until they went, all right. That's
I'll
probably
do
what
it.
I'd do. Yeah,
I'll
like,
do
all
it.
right, just shut up. Like,
See,
that's what
I
I'd do.
actually think I would be a cat because you don't need to say a thing. It's all in their facial expressions. It tells you everything.
Manipulation.
Have you seen these questions?
No, but it tells you everything you need to know. So I'm actually a dog person as opposed to a cat person.
Yeah.
But I think I would be a cat.
Yeah, I can
Got in
see
the
it.
eyes.
I can
All the
see it. I can
cuteness,
see
the
it.
cuteness. Okay,
Yeah.
what about who would you be?
It's a hard one.
I feel like I'd be a dog. 'Cause,
Nice,
you know,
nice.
I love dogs, but I'm going to use my mum's dog as an example. He's relentless. Just relentless.
You're like, leave me alone.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
And then you just, until they give up.
Yeah.
And just,
Yeah, okay,
Wear
fair
them
enough.
down.
yeah,
Yeah.
wear them down, wear them
That's
down.
that's a good
Yeah.
approach to be
Yeah.
fair. Okay.
So,
If you had to convince a corporate partner to donate by singing your favourite karaoke classic, what song would you choose and why? Oh my god, this is the last one. I thought I had a second page. We won't go that
Questions.
far.
I was hoping for a who would you have a meal with, not these.
Yeah.
Not these sorts of questions.
No,
I
we're
just
gonna,
thought,
like,
I wonder what
liven
she'll
it up.
ask at the end. I'm definitely going to say the Queen. No, gosh, a karaoke song.
karaoke song.
What was your why would you
Convince
sing it
them.
and convince them to close the deal with you?
I can't even think of a karaoke
I mean, you could
song.
go
no one
like-
wants to hear me singing.
You could
Yeah.
go something like sort of Tina Turner, Simply the Best,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
then, you know, you're
it's
promoting
true.
yourself and you're like, well, you're not going to find anyone better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you sing and why?
What would I sing? What
I mean,
songs
my
do I know?
go-to is always Pink So What.
Is it?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
always my
nice,
go-to
okay.
song.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you why that's
You
going
just
to
like
convince
it.
them. Yeah.
It'd just be the effort
I mean,
in
it
the
might-
singing.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll
Or-
sign the deal.
Yeah. Or so what? So what? You know,
That's
come
true.
on.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not bothered either way. Sign or
Yes,
don't.
Yeah. Come on.
Oh, look,
Please.
she's still feeling about it.
No,
isn't it?
I've got to be honest. Song-wise, karaoke-wise, I don't think I've probably done karaoke since I was 15.
That's all right.
And song-wise, I'm terrible because even now, if you ask me to name a band, all I can think of is, I know Oasis has been popular recently, and I know that we were trying to get tickets. If you ask
So
me to
don't
ask
look
that
back in
song,
anger,
I would
maybe.
think
Yeah.
Wonderwall.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think, why would I even say that?
So
Because I
basically,
don't
in response to this
Yes.
question, you will just like sing something that you feel
Yes.
will just like show off your vocabulary
Just my confidence
skills.
in
Well,
singing that
yeah.
song, I think, is the main
Vocal
thing.
skills highlighted there.
Yes, which
Okay,
is
that's good
a
answers.
lacking, to be fair,
Yeah.
vocal skills. So maybe I would something
say-
with a rap that I could talk as opposed
rap,
to
yeah.
sing. Probably be more
Yeah.
my
Rap songs, rap
repertoire,
songs.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
no, they were good answers. They were good answers. Thank you for
Thank
your time
you.
today. Really
having us.
appreciate you taking time out of your very busy diaries. It's been a pleasure and really insightful to chat to you. Actually, there was a lot of stuff there that I didn't know happened, and I hope our listeners enjoy it. So thank you both, and thanks to everyone for listening. Join us again on our next session, and we will see you then. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.